In the quiet aftermath of another chaotic night in Port Charles, one secret continued to grow darker with every passing day. Drew's shooting had already shaken families, destroyed trust, and pushed several relationships to the edge. The police believed they were getting closer to the truth, but what no one realized was that the answer had been hiding in plain sight the entire time. And the person carrying that dangerous truth was Willow. For weeks, Willow had tried to convince herself she was doing the right thing. Every time someone mentioned Drew's name, every time the investigation came up, she forced herself to stay calm. She smiled when she needed to smile. She comforted people when they broke down. But inside, the pressure was becoming unbearable. Because Willow knew far more than she ever admitted. The night Drew was attacked had started like any other tense evening in Port Charles. Emotions were already running high. Old rivalries were resurfacing. Secrets were threatening to come out. Several people had reasons to confront Drew, and that made the investigation even more complicated. But Willow remembered details no one else noticed. She remembered seeing a mysterious figure near the scene just moments before the chaos erupted. At first, she convinced herself it was nothing important. She told herself she had been mistaken, but deep down, she recognized exactly who it was. The problem was that revealing the truth could destroy multiple lives at once. Willow became trapped between guilt and fear. Every day the silence continued, her anxiety grew stronger. She began avoiding conversations about the case. Even Michael started noticing changes in her behavior. Willow became distant, distracted, and emotionally exhausted. Whenever Michael asked if something was wrong, she quickly changed the subject. But Michael wasn't the only one paying attention. Carly soon noticed that Willow reacted strangely whenever Drew's condition was discussed. There was fear in Willow's eyes, not the fear of losing someone, but the fear of being exposed. Carly's instinct immediately told her something wasn't adding up. Meanwhile, Drew continued struggling to recover while trying to piece together the fragments of that terrible night. His memory remained incomplete, but certain flashes kept returning. A voice, a shadow, a familiar presence nearby before everything went dark. The closer Drew got to remembering the truth, the more nervous Willow became. At the same time, rumors started spreading across Port Charles that the shooter may not have acted alone. That possibility terrified Willow even more because it threatened to expose connections nobody expected. One evening, Willow found herself standing alone outside the hospital, overwhelmed by guilt. She replayed the events of that night repeatedly in her mind. She remembered hearing the argument. She remembered the anger in that person's voice. Most importantly, she remembered seeing something that proved the shooting was never meant to happen the way everyone believed. The confrontation had spiraled out of control. What Willow knew could completely change the entire investigation. But there was another reason she stayed silent. She cared about the person involved. That emotional conflict was tearing her apart. Willow knew that coming forward could send shockwaves through families already struggling to survive endless betrayal and heartbreak. Children would suffer, relationships would collapse, powerful alliances could be destroyed forever. Still, keeping the secret came with consequences of its own. As days passed, Willow started making mistakes. She became emotional during conversations about Drew. She accidentally contradicted herself while speaking with investigators. Even Nina began questioning why Willow seemed so terrified whenever the case was mentioned. Port Charles thrives on suspicion, and it didn't take long before whispers started spreading. Some believed Willow was hiding evidence. Others feared she may have witnessed more than she admitted. A few even wondered if Willow somehow played a larger role in the entire tragedy. Those rumors quickly intensified after a surprising discovery changed everything. Investigators uncovered new security footage from the area surrounding the shooting. While the footage itself was incomplete, it revealed a shocking detail. Willow had been much closer to the scene than anyone realized. Suddenly, the questions surrounding her became unavoidable. When Carly confronted Willow directly, the tension exploded instantly. Carly demanded answers, insisting that Drew deserved the truth, no matter how painful it might be. Willow tried to deny everything at first, but Carly could see the panic written all over her face. That confrontation pushed Willow dangerously close to breaking down.
Michael sensed the growing emotional distance between them. He wanted to believe Willow was simply overwhelmed by recent events, but deep inside, he feared something much worse was happening. Every conversation felt strained, every moment of silence felt heavier. Then came the turning point no one expected. Drew finally remembered a crucial detail from the night of the shooting. He remembered hearing Willow's voice. That realization stunned him because it meant Willow had been there during the confrontation far longer than she admitted. Drew immediately began questioning why she hid that information. Was she protecting someone, or was she protecting herself? As Drew searched for answers, Willow faced increasing pressure from every direction. The investigation was closing in, the people around her were becoming suspicious, and emotionally, she was nearing her breaking point. Late one night, Willow finally revisited the exact location where everything happened. Standing there again brought back memories she had desperately tried to bury. The fear, the shouting, the moment everything spiraled out of control. And then the truth became impossible to ignore any longer. Willow had witnessed the entire confrontation unfold. She saw the rage build between Drew and the mysterious figure. She saw emotions escalate beyond control. But according to Willow's memory, the shooting itself was never planned. It happened during a desperate struggle that turned catastrophic in seconds. That truth complicated everything. Because if Willow came forward, the story would no longer be about cold-blooded revenge. It would become a story about panic, fear, and a terrible accident that destroyed countless lives. But would anyone believe her now, after all the lies? That question haunted Willow constantly. Meanwhile, another unexpected twist emerged when someone anonymous began sending messages threatening to expose her secret publicly. The messages contained details only someone close to the investigation could know. Willow realized she was no longer in control of the situation. Someone else knew the truth. The pressure became unbearable. Willow stopped sleeping. She isolated herself emotionally from everyone around her. Even simple conversations became difficult because she constantly feared saying the wrong thing. Then came the devastating moment Michael confronted her with the evidence investigators had uncovered. For the first time, Willow completely froze. Michael begged her to tell him the truth. He promised they could face anything together if she was honest now. But Willow's silence said more than words ever could. That silence shattered Michael. The trust between them began collapsing instantly. At the same time, Drew grew more determined than ever to uncover the full story. He knew Willow was hiding something significant, and he refused to let the mystery remain unsolved. The closer he got to the truth, the more dangerous the situation became for everyone involved. Port Charles soon erupted with speculation after rumors leaked that a major witness had withheld critical information from investigators. Nobody officially named Willow, but suspicion spread rapidly throughout the community. Friends turned cautious, allies became uncertain, and enemies started preparing to use the truth for their own advantage. Willow realized the secret she fought so hard to protect was now destroying everything around her anyway. In the emotional days ahead, Willow may finally be forced to make the hardest decision of her life: confess the entire truth about Drew's shooting, or continue protecting the persons whose actions changed Port Charles forever. But by the time the full truth finally comes out, it may already be too late to repair the damage, because secrets in Port Charles never stay buried forever. And when Willow's dark secret is finally exposed, the fallout could change every relationship connected to Drew, Michael, Carly, and Willow herself. The real question now is not whether the truth will come out. The real question is who will survive the consequences when it does. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more dramatic General Hospital spoilers, shocking twists, and emotional Port Charles updates every day.